What's up, Married at First Sight peeps? Ain't no wedding like a West Coast wedding. What'd you think of tonight's episode? Um, let's start with Kristen and your dude Mitch. Now, Kristen seems like Mitch is just exactly her type, so it seems like if this doesn't work, it will definitely be his fault because he seems to say a lot of things that, you know, make me wonder if he's going to self sabotage the marriage. And was he interested in her mother? I hope not, because that's way too bizarre. But she likes a guy with no hair. He shaved his head, so she should be happy in what she got. And he doesn't like the whole wedding thing. He likes more of a down to earth looking girl. But I'm like, what do you expect? You're at a wedding. She's not going to come with curlers in her hair and flip flops. So, you'll see her, when she's at home in a robe and slippers, and then he'll have the look he wants. But if he blows this, he has nobody to blame but himself because, like I said, she's really interested in him, and you can tell it's not an act, it's real. And people like Mitch have to remember the fact that they came on a show like this shows that they were, for lack of a better word, desperate. So when they hook you up, stop nitpicking so much. I mean, you were desperate enough to marry a complete stranger, so don't try to tear her apart. I mean, she's not a bad looking young lady at all. So, you know, just go with the flow. And I just find it interesting that he seems to be the type to say whatever pops in his head without thinking first. And I can see some big red flags coming up later. A little bit of foreshadowing. I can see that he'll probably say something to offend her, and then it won't be good for him because he'll find himself back where he was before the show. What'd you guys think of Mitch and Kristen? How'd you like how they look together? And she seems like a real nice person. We'll see though. Let's move on to Lindy and Miguel. Now, Lindy and Miguel seem like they're real happy together, but there's a huge red flag that she's raised in the church and he's not. He plays 80s board games that go against her belief system and go against mine too. So it just can't work. The scriptures call that unequally yoked. So I don't know why a show with expert matchmakers would hook somebody up with somebody that doesn't believe what they believe. I see that happen on 90 Day Fiance, except they know what they're getting into because they're not, being matched by others. They're picking who they want to be with. But Married at First Sight, they should never put somebody like you would never put someone that doesn't believe in which. Why would you put someone that doesn't believe what they believe with like that's just too big of a clash. Like that just doesn't work because they look good together, but what good is looking good together if they don't share the same belief system? So I see big red flags ahead of that because Miguel met with Kristen's no, I mean with Lindy's mom and brother, and he was really questioning them about the church. And Miguel was trying to show that he didn't mean any disrespect. He just didn't believe in organized religion or something like that. So the mom and her brother was kind of looking at him like, oh boy. And I can see why, because it's not going to work. No matter how good you look together, you have to be on the same page or it's just going to be like when you flip a magnet and they won't connect. That's just how it's going to be. It's going to be invisible too. You'd be like, well, how come we're not getting along? Because you don't share the same belief system. So let's move on to Alexis and Justin. Now, Justin just seems kind of like an awkward guy. He's real tall and stuff like that. He's like 7 feet or something like that. And Alexis doesn't seem to like the fact that he's celibate, as she says. It's celibate, not celibate. But guess I'm nitpicking now. But she should be happy that he wasn't sleeping around. Why would you want somebody that sleeps around? Oh, what, she thinks he's not going to have experience. Well, that's probably an area you don't want somebody to have experience in, or they may give you a gift that keeps giving. an STD. But anyway, we'll see if Alexis and Justin get along. He seems kind of on the needy side, like he needs a lot of affection. And a lot of today's women aren't willing to give that affection, unfortunately. But we'll see if she does, because she wanted to be married so badly. And yeah. Moving on to Nate Dogg and Stasia. Now, they look a lot like brother and sister, like I said on my last video. And I think they they seem like they get along. He wanted someone, he gave an age range. He was telling her he wanted someone in their 20s, and I think the oldest he wanted was like 32, but he wanted to be in a power relationship, like a power couple. And Dr. Cal said, well, if you want to be with, a financially stable woman, a power couple, you might want to up the age, because someone at 27 is probably not going to be considered, have everything, together, so to speak. So he made him date older. I forget if she 34, 37. Anyway, she's older than him. And as he was telling her that, he wanted someone at a different age range at first, she kind of looked at him like, am I your type then? But seems like they'll get along. He seems like he might be a bit freaky behind closed doors if you saw the past episode. So we'll see how she gets along with that. I don't know if a woman his age could even handle all that. He seems like he might be a bit wild. And like I said, looks wise, they look like a good match. They almost look like brother and sister. I keep saying they look a lot alike. But they seem to be getting along right now. But, there's always clashes because different personalities, and they didn't get to know them until as they're married, they're getting to know them. They didn't know them before. So it's the concept of the show. So we'll see what happens. He had an interesting friend that he brought along. The blonde girl, can't think of her name. Was it Megan or something? But Stassi is not going to want him hanging with no female friends. I mean, you're married. It's time to drop that. You wanted a wife. You can't be keeping along no women. It's time to let that go. So what'd you think of tonight's episode? If I'm leaving anything out, let me know. This is J. Roos Theory. Make sure to comment, share, subscribe. LSR forever. The reason I do this, and be fearless.